everybody, and welcome back to Gay2k. Today, we're discussing the 1997 Kevin Smith film, Chasing Amy. Alex is here with me, and we are joined by a great friend of ours from high school, Julia.
Hi, buddies.
Julia, anything our audience should know about you?
I majored in underwater basket weaving. Um, my cat is gay, and my eyes are blue. That's me. Hi.
Is that two truths and a lie, or
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
accidentally?
I'm
Yeah.
never very good at that game either, so I can't believe I just made one
Now
up
you have that in your
just
pocket
now.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, it's out there for the internet. You can't use it again.
Damn it.
I don't know. She didn't answer which thing is which. I just can
True.
deduce.
Don't look up my driver's license. It lies anyway. Um, I don't actually. Maybe I don't have a cat. Maybe I have a gay ferret. Who knows?
It is a ferret.
He's seen it. He's seen it. He's seen my gay ferret. I feel like gay ferret is definitely a euphemism for something.
It's just a person. He's on Grinder. Yeah, that's how
I
I've
feel
seen
like that's more of a sniffies kind of guy.
it.
Maybe not
Yeah. So
grinder.
what's the difference between a gay ferret and an otter?
You have to take this out. You have to take this
Mm,
out because I have the answer.
Oh, Julia, do you remember meeting either me or Alex?
um, not particularly, but I that's not because like you guys aren't interesting people. It's because I'm definitely have the worst memory ever. Like I assume it was probably like in choir class or in like theater class. Like I don't know. I assume that's how it happened. Do you guys remember meeting me?
No, I
Okay,
mean
good.
were you no, that would have been your sophomore year.
I was
What?
06. You were 05?
Yeah. So
Okay, so
what
yeah,
did you do the fall play
of my sophomore year.
of your freshman year?
Of my freshman year. So freshman year would have been Les Mis, and then
Okay. Yeah,
Ms.
I mean,
Yeah,
it had to be the musical because Alex and I aren't vocal talents. And I mean, I guess you could have been in our theater film class, but odds are
yeah,
you just yeah, saw us
yeah.
in
And
running
Les
tech
Mis.
of
Yeah,
various
yeah.
types. Because
Also, Les
Alex,
Mis. Don't 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 have high schoolers do that show. I'm so
no,
glad I was in it and didn't ever have to watch it because it seems like it would have been atrocious.
I mean, with the exception of maybe like the Seussical, I think you could say that of like almost every like high school, like don't have a high schooler and Fiddler on the Roof, like
I
you
mean,
know,
like
like
considering that Les Mis is like very operatic and there are no
oh,
spoken words,
just like yeah,
like
vocally, you're
you're not
right.
giving anyone in the audience a reprieve from this nightmare.
No,
No
oh my
offense to
gosh.
anyone that was like a lead in that show, but
I mean,
no high schooler should do
we
it.
had, yeah, like I would say the most talented people that could like do the closest thing to it, doing it, and
Yeah,
still not.
yeah, not great.
I
Like unless you're
remember
the high school from Fame, don't 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 do shows like this.
even if you're the high school from Fame, you're still going to be an 18-year-old boy doing John Valjean's 30-year journey. Like it
Yeah,
doesn't work.
no.
It worked for me. I was in spotlights. They were
Yeah.
great. They did great.
I bet. Yeah.
And if you watch it, the rehearsal, the dress rehearsal, the show, that comes out to like 15 times, and eventually you understand the story, and it's great.
Oh no.
Hypnosis.
Yeah.
I like if there's a recording of that somewhere, whoever, please burn it. Never show that to anyone ever. I made the mistake of showing my friends the DVD copy of Sue School that I have, and I still have not lived that down. So
It's interesting how like in the moment you're like, this is pretty good. We did really good work. We got it down. It looks, and then you like watch it and you're like, Oh
No,
no.
it's bad. It's high school theater. It's bad. Like
It's
we're not.
adorable. But yes,
Yeah.
it should always be free is the truth. Like it should always be
Yeah.
free. And the
It's
fact that there are like high schools, not our high school, but there are other high schools in, the world that charge like 30, $40.
That's insane.
It's
You're torture.
crazy. Like,
You're
what are you
you're
doing?
making people pay for their own torture. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like having to buy your own plane ticket to like Guantanamo. Like, why am I doing this? Why would I ever do this? I shouldn't do this.
I
Our
mean,
our poor parents
I
and
don't
family
know.
members.
I mean, is it much better for high schoolers to do Shakespeare, guys? I mean,
No.
were
No.
you two love interests? Was that?
Yep.
Yeah.
I was an
Mm,
obnoxious love interest. I met you as a choir girl. You were a choir girl.
I was.
That was what it was to me. And
Not a
then
very good one, but I was there in the
I
back.
I couldn't sing at all, so and then we were Lysander and Helena in
Yes.
Midsummer Night's Dream, which
Do you
is like
rem-
my play.
no,
do you
that's
remember the night that I ate shit in the pool and I slipped and I fell and I just had to keep
yes.
going with my
Dude,
lines
and
and
that
I
was
was just like
after. Like literally, Eisenhart was
ugh.
like, "Sure, go direct this scene, Sarah. Do have them do whatever you want." And so then I was like, "No, really go for it." And Gretchen beat you up.
Mhm. And I ate shit because we had little socks with like little rubber grippies
Yes.
on the bottom, but they would get so like heavy. And I was like, let me try doing this scene without them. And
And
I
then
learned my lesson.
of
I
course there
learned,
was only one, like you guys each only had one costume piece the
yeah.
entire time. So after you did the pool scene, you're both shivering and soaking wet for
We
the
were
rest of the
shivering.
play.
We would run downstairs and try to like dry our dresses off the best we could with like hand dryers.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't
That's
work very well.
poverty. That's poverty. I don't like that. That's rough. You all
Yeah.
were shivering. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was. I was like, this isn't good.
That was a good time. That was a fun show. That was a fun like cast.
Yeah, and most of everybody took it really seriously, and some people didn't, and that's fine.
I mean, some people we went to high school with were just so unserious. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can't. I mean, I watched you snort pixie sticks, kid.
That's
Like
what I was just saying. It wasn't me. We saw
no,
No,
Lexi do
but
it.
no, it
Yeah.
yeah.
was not you. It was not you. I have two people in mind that it was. One of them I still talk to, and I still make fun of
Oh,
him for it. So
that's adorable.
That is adorable. That was my first like pop-up air moment where I'm like, oh, poor kid. Yeah, put your head underneath this. Keep on inhaling it. It'll get through this. I'm standing here because I don't know if you're gonna die or not.
I mean, I'm like, I'm pretty sure you can't die from snorting pixie sticks, but maybe. But I
Way to
don't.
find
I'm not.
out.
I'm not a doctor. I don't know.
So, summary of how we know each other, just high school theater. That's all it is, which is really how I do most of everyone that I talk to in high school. I mean,
Taylor's
Clean room
Taylor's old
times.
as time.
do either of you remember the first time you saw the film Chasing Amy?
No, but my brother went through a spat of like watching all of the Kevin Smith movies, and because I was a younger sibling, I just had to, if I wanted to watch anything, I had to watch what he wanted. So I assume it was in like that period. So I probably would have been like late elementary school, early middle school, or like early 2000s for
Mm-hmm.
sure. But other than that, yeah. I couldn't tell you the first time I watched Mallrats or Clerks either, though.
No,
So,
I think it's all backwards from Dogma for me. I think I saw
ooh,
Dogma and then I was like, okay, I like this guy a lot. And people were like, oh yeah, Kevin Smith, blah, 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 blah. And by people, I think
In
like
college?
AOL message boards. Like I
Oh.
have no idea. Um, but yeah, so then I went backwards and discovered what the fans call the New Jersey trilogy, which is Clerks, Mallrats, and Chasing Amy.
mhm.
The New Jersey trilogy. I just always assumed it was the View Askew verse. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the
I
like, yeah, go ahead.
I watched it on television and it was the syndicated, not syndicated, it was like chopped up to like remove a lot of the the naughty word. So when I first watched the full thing, I was shocked.
I
Um,
I feel like if you edit that movie, like, is there any dialogue even
What's
left? Like,
it's only dialogue and
like,
crying.
like
And
what are
Joey
they
Lauren
saying
Adams is
there?
crying.
Just screaming
Yeah,
and crying.
yeah, it's essentially three scenes.
Yeah.
They meet at the beginning, they cry in the rain, and then they just kind of like look at each other at the end of the movie.
Yes. That's
it's actually a pretty good summary in
all I
Yeah,
ever
general.
got from this
tons
movie.
of commercials.
Boy meets girl, girl lesbian. That's my summary of the movie.
Yeah.
I remember them making out in no, I remember Joey Lauren Adams making out with the blonde chick in the club, and that being in the movie. But that was as lesbian as it got, and then it was just all arguments and a bunch of basically straight women sitting together, licking envelopes and talking.
Licking envelopes. Is that what we're calling it now? I
That's what we
like.
called it
Ooh.
on daytime television.
I'm here for it. Also, you mentioned about the club. I cannot imagine a better name for a lesbian bar than Meow Mix. I just
Real
have to put
club. Real
real club,
club.
no longer open
Yes.
anymore, but
Yes.
was a real club.
So
And I'm like,
good.
whatever sapphic genius came up with that,
Thank
God bless
you.
you. I love
Mm-hmm.
it.
We appreciate you.
Yes.
On a rewatch, I was like, oh my God, I completely forgot that was the name of that club. And that's amazing. And I was like, I
Mm-hmm.
know I have to talk about that on the pod.
That's so good. God, that scene is good. Okay, so what is Chasing Amy?
Chasing Amy is about a white boy who needs to make the whole sense of the world um, about him. It's about two comic book authors, creative geniuses, who stole a the identities or the visual representations of real life people and made a comic book series about it and got super filthy rich. And Holden is one of those gentlemen, and he and his best friend Banksy go to a comic book
Just
convention, not because they have to, just because what?
Banky. You said Banksy.
Banky,
Not to be
Banky,
confused with Banksy.
my
Yeah,
bad.
that would be impressive. It's
How'd
like,
he do it? My
oh,
bad.
You got Banksy as
Holden
your
and
talk
Banky.
intern.
about artistic genius. Wow.
He was there all
Okay.
along.
So
He was hiding in New Jersey this whole time.
Holden and Banky are at Manhattan Comic Con.
Yeah. And it's this really rebel 90s space. I think one of the first scenes of it, it says like fuck Marvel. And it's really cool looking, really small, down to earth sort of situation. And Holden meets a girl who's like cool and mysterious through a fellow author or fellow comic book genius. And he just slowly gets to know her, and he's like all shy and meek and beautiful Ben Affleck. And he slowly falls for her, gets disappointed when he finds out that she's a lesbian, and that lesbian is Alyssa, right? Yeah, played by Joey Lauren.
Joey
Can't
Lauren
remember.
Adams.
So JLA is super sweet, spunky, and not your typical lesbian that Holden would have imagined. And he somehow like falls for her because they're both from the same town, basically. They have a lot of common history and they just never met up. And Holden, instead of focusing on his business and his work careers and facing what he does or doesn't want to do in the future, he decides to go down a rabbit hole relationship with this gal and sort of, in my opinion, pushes her to change her whole lifestyle and adjust. And I mean lifestyle because, and we'll get into it, but she had a whole friendship circle and a business related to women. And she, that all went on the back burner for Holden. And then Holden finds out some information through Banky, who's jealous shit about the situation. And revelations are brought about. Holden really fucks it up a couple of times. And then they part ways, and the movie ends when it's a year later, and they're just like, adults. We all know. We know now. We can. It just needs a year or two or three, and you can just look at each other and be like,
Yeah, the like
You.
um so let's go back to the scene that Hooper, I believe is his name. Hooper?
Yeah.
Hooper.
Yes, Hooper, who is, but like you said, the friend who then introduces the two of them, and he's giving a panel about Black Power during the comic book convention's diversity panel, and he evokes. They have this stage bit where Holden stands up and says some things, and there's this whole Black Power rage moment, and there's a
What's a
pew pew.
Nubian?
Yes.
What's a Nubian?
What the fuck is a
I love
Nubian?
that line.
Yes. And then there's a pew pew situation, and the audience flees. And then Alyssa makes a joke about how she never wants to go after Hooper on the diversity panel because it always ends like this, which is so wild to me. Like, who would invite him back after the first time it went like that?
Well, and then they talk about like his agent is like encouraging him to do this, and I'm like, okay, I
I
don't
don't think it
know.
was. I don't
I
think it
don't
was a
know.
joke. I
I
think
don't.
she really meant it. It had been maybe the second time it happened, and she's finally realizing like it's gonna happen every time, and
This
it's
is gonna
not
be a
fair.
thing.
And she never, for the most part, she has to be soaking wet, crying, or from rain to be taken seriously, because she's probably super serious. Like, I can't do this with you guys. I need to sell books. The two dudes are Binky and Holden are slumming it because they don't need to do these things.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is that there's other comic book artists out there that um, don't appeal to the masses and are really struggling. They're not there to like make friends. They're trying to like improve their viewership and be present and generate income. I think
So
Cooper X talks about that a lot. Played by Dwight Ewell. Did a great job.
I love Hooper. I think he
Yeah.
like, I mean, we can talk about how this film was in 1997 and lots of things are perhaps problematic. And sure, there's some stereotypical behavior to Hooper, but the fact that it's like double-edged, and like he is like, how, let's, to quote Mean Girls, perhaps he is too gay to function. And they mask that, right? Like he's masking that by being this hyper masculine, perhaps Black Power representation person at panels, and when he runs into young fans and all of that kind of stuff. Um, yeah, that scene where he runs into the young boy in the record store and he's like, "You see that? That's the devil." Is that the
That,
line?
that white man is the devil.
That white
Never
man
take
is the
your eyes
devil.
off the white man.
And I mean, Ben Affleck is kind of the devil, so he was correct. He came
Yeah.
correct.
So after that event at the comic convention, they talk a few times, and oh, they talk right afterwards. Then Hooper says that Alyssa wants him to come down to this club. I'm sure he told him the name, but the name Meow Mix didn't mean anything to Ben Affleck when he shows up. It doesn't register to them at all, him or Banky, yet, that they are surrounded by women. And it's not until, you know, Holden doing what he thinks is flirting for several minutes, and then Alyssa gets on stage and sings an I guess a love song. I don't know, a song directed at somebody, and the most relatably cringe thing in this movie for me this time watching was Ben Affleck dancing, thinking she was singing about him, and
And like the downward, like, oh me.
yes, it's so dumb.
That's
But
like when
like,
somebody's walking towards you and they wave at you and you wave back, then you realize that they were waving at the person behind you. It's like,
mhm.
shit.
Mhm. Yeah.
That way wasn't for you either. It's fine. Can I go kill myself? Record how many times it's happened to me.
You're waving at somebody that's not actually waving at you. Yeah.
All the
And
time.
then you try to do it back, and they're like, Julia, stop waving at the wall.
They're like, Julia, that's a mirror. And
That's a
even
mirror.
she's not waving at you. It's like, damn.
You're kind of just forcing her
reflections.
because she's your reflection.
What was I gonna say? Okay, so then they're at the club and he realizes she's a lesbian and nothing really develops or changes. They go on multiple dates that aren't dates, right?
Well, I think Alyssa brings it up later. She comes to the door and is like, hey,
Oh yeah.
I have this story about a guy who was pretty cool, and then he runs out of a restaurant super pissy because she found out a girl was a lesbian, and she's super cute about it, and like brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Smith is a dialogue genius. I think that's the reason that those three movies are a trilogy, because the actors really just make that dialogue like you can live in it and you can see a real person, and it's so great. But yeah, she's confrontational and she's not afraid to like address the situation, break the ice, and recognize like, hey, you're being stupid, you're really cool. I'm happy to answer any questions that would help you out because I appreciate who you are.
And then they have conversations that are wild. The conversation that takes place on the swing about how sex happens for lesbians.
Yeah. She's like, so wait, do you think I'm still a virgin because I've never had a penis in me? And I was like, I bet you a lot of dudes do think that about lesbians. Like, that is a very like, well, yeah, technically you are a virgin, because their only version of sex is penis in hole.
Let me adjust my definition again. And then here's some more information how you're wrong. Well, let me adjust my definition again. And yeah, dudes still be like that, to be honest.
Yeah. Some things will never change.
Yeah. So, you know, I mean, I don't know how to like, but like,
oh,
like, and she like opens it up afterwards.
And I was like, I don't think that's how fisting works.
I don't think GLA's done it, or I had at that point in time.
You don't think Alyssa had? She was just trying to like.
Alyssa had. I don't think GLA had, and I don't think Kevin Smith had.
Kevin Smith had any idea.
Oh, yeah. Like, so they were like, I think this is how it happened. They also are the ones that think fisting is actually a fist. And it's like, no, you think a fist is just going to go? This is a sex education podcast now, by the way. For adults only.
I can't wait to make the explicit clip of us all going.
Just a nice little compilation picture of all of us just yeah, that makes sense. That like, yeah, if Joey Lauren Adams and Kevin Smith had never actually like experienced fisting, they wouldn't know how to represent it on screen. You could ask somebody on that set knew.
Ben Affleck knew.
And
he had already fisted Matt Damon.
Well, so two little bits of information not related to Matt Damon. I don't think I can relate this to Matt Damon. When Kevin Smith was writing it, him and Joey Lauren Adams were dating. Which is wild.
I always forget that.
But then Scott Moser, who is like his production partner, part of the View Askew team that you mentioned earlier, was kind of obsessed with Guinevere Turner, who wrote the lesbian film, wrote and starred in Go Fish, the lesbian film from that time. They actually met, it was probably for Mallrats at a film festival, because Go Fish and Mallrats, or maybe Clerks, were playing at the same time. And so that was kind of the Kevin Smith witnessing that kind of like obsession. Guinevere Turner is Kevin Smith is the Banky in this situation. No, I don't know.
I mean, kind of, yeah.
Yeah. But he like Guinevere Turner is he definitely asked her about some things, and she basically was like, yeah, dude, you're gonna get hate for this just because what the story is, and you're a straight man telling the story. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, Go Fish, great name for a lesbian film.
Mhm.
I love it.
It's
I love it.
a good film. It's good.
Yeah, I love the lore behind it. I love when you can point to like a real thing and go, okay, this is what the situation was, and then you tell a story that's like way cooler than the
Right.
original
Yeah.
situation. I'm like,
Exactly.
that's like
I have an
Yeah.
eyelash. I
every
have an
compulsive
eyelash.
liar in high school that was just like one like really small tiny thing would happen, and then they'd like start telling the story, and it'd be like way
Stop.
overblown and way
Isn't
better
that
now.
isn't that a theater kid thing too, though? Like,
Oh
don't we
God.
just love our dramatics?
You know what's crazy is that even though I was a theater kid and I was probably pretty annoying about it, I cannot stand seeing grown up theater kids. Like I can always pick them out. And working in a gay bar, I see quite a few of them that they just like so desperately have that like main character energy. And I'm just
Yeah,
like,
what is
oh
it? The internet calls it the pick me people, right?
yeah. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh God, you were a theater kid. I'm just like, "Eeh." But yeah,
Yeah, I
that
get
is,
that for
but like
sure.
taking a cool story and making it awesome and putting really good dialogue to it, I think is what Kevin Smith does very well. I
Hmm.
think like most of his movies are somewhat real life events, and
Hmm.
I think that's what makes him very relatable and like his dialogue very relatable.
Hmm. It is interesting how not fluid sexuality is ever talked about in the movie, like ever. Like they never. She would straight to lesbian, lesbian to straight.
Yeah,
So I find that like super interesting, and I see that reflected a little bit in our high school experience, but almost more like not because there was so much experimentation, and the bisexual label was like a safe place to land for, I don't know, half
yeah,
of the people that we knew.
yeah. There were a lot of like gay phases in high school, a lot of like girls dating each other that it was like, um, okay. And then they just go straight back to a dude. And I'm like,
Mhm.
big pendulum swing, but whatever. Do you think a lot of people would actually fall under like the pansexual title?
For sure. I think, well, and I think too, it's interesting because I think, and I don't know, I'm not a generation alpha or whatever, but I feel like they're going back to this place of like labels really matter again. I think about, I don't know how much you guys aren't part of the lesbian community, or whatever, but like there's this well, the Jojo Siwa drama, right? She was out of the closet, made a big deal about being out of the closet, and then blamed lesbians for forcing her out of the closet, and went back to
Yeah.
dating a dude, which is problematic, obviously. But then there have been other people since that are um, like other artists that have dated men now, and artists that weren't even artists that were known for dating women but never once said they were lesbians, and the lesbian community is still like the line, the "we lost another good one," right, that they say
Mm.
during the envelope licking party. I was like,
Madonna
Yeah.
had just been on MTV, or not MTV, some other talk show talking about her and I can't remember her name, another comedian. Yeah,
Sandra
and
Sandra
Barnhart.
thank
Barnhart,
you.
yes.
Like, and lesbians have been going through it for like a decade because that didn't just happen. I mean, I'm a baby, so I don't know, but like that
I'm
was
just a
probably the '80s.
baby.
I'm just a baby, but like, yeah, I think I appreciated that part of the film in that she has to confront that amongst her friends. She is a um, by single woman's in New York standards, wealthy, making it happen, um, and ideal because she can.
Yeah.
She's fucking girls left and right, and she has all her best friends. Supposedly, they talk about it like that. She has these
honestly,
friends working
her,
for her.
her
They're
friends
Yeah.
working for her.
suck. Her friends suck. That they were like, they found out it was a dude and immediately were like, like,
She had been gone
jeez.
for a month. Julia, she'd been gone for a whole month. They hadn't heard from her. And it's because she's been dating a dude. And they got she got all of them together to quit whatever plans they had with their real lesbian friends. Just kidding. That part's real. I back off. But like to work for not money.
Yeah.
To work for not money. Like, hey, I'm gonna help you
Oh.
out because you're awesome to me and you're really making things work.
But like
What's it all
but then they
about?
so quickly dismiss her. Like, it's like, okay. None of you have accidentally fallen on a wiener. Calm down.
Not in that circle. Go
Everyone's
fish.
houses were just all Georgia O'Keeffe pictures. It's the only art allowed. Anyway.
I don't think it would have really happened that way, but
Yeah, it felt very unnatural. Like, I have been a part of many friendships falling apart, and I've never just seen it be like a circle of people, and we find out one piece of information, and we're all like, fuck this, I'm out.
we're gonna handle this right now.
I mean, it's Kevin Smith doing his best to write what he thinks lesbian conversation would be.
Yeah, it's absolutely that. Like,
it's very short.
Yeah, that's a super short scene. He's like, I gotta get out of here. I don't know what I'm doing.
And we never saw those lesbians again.
ask that Go Fish lady to help you write that scene, because yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think he definitely had no idea how to write for, let alone one lesbian, like
really?
7 of them.
Yeah.
Like,
tough feat.
Yeah.
But thank God he did it. Honestly, though.
God bless him.
Honestly, though, I do appreciate the film because it gave us as teenagers a lot of opportunity to like have dialogue about virginity, about sexual politics, about identity and things that really mattered. Sarah printed out God bless you, printed out so many monologues because we were assigned a monologue our junior year. And she was the trooper who helped. I probably wouldn't have passed that class if she hadn't given me something to work with. Like I still remember reading Holden's lines, and they are as a teenager.
The car scene, right? The like the confession scene, in the car.
The swing scene.
Dude, I have no idea. I don't think Eisenhart gave a shit what we did in that class. Like, we literally could have done it. We lip synced to Buffy the Musical. Like, they didn't fucking care what we were
What
doing.
class was this?
Advanced theater or whatever.
Advanced.
I'm like, I don't remember any of this. I could not have been in that class.
It was nuts. Okay, so you brought up the car scene. So they've been friends at this point.
Holden is like sneaking in the date vibe, and like she's clearly open to it because she just loves hanging out with people. And I understand this as an adult, so I'll talk about how we understand as an adult later. But like, he is totally a teenage boy trying to trick her with all these vibes, and they do skee ball, and she learns how to skee ball. They've already done darts. They've already done things that she's good at. Gone to a lesbian bar, done some darts.
She's good at going to a lesbian bar.
Yeah.
The talent.
And looking at records and looking at comic books and all that stuff. But what he's good at is like, I'm talking about the montage here. He's able to get a lighter to work for her. And that's impressive because men are good at tools. Thanks, Kevin Smith. And doing some skee ball, and they're at a restaurant and they're just talking, having some dialogue. And then she, so clever, so cute, so wonderful of an actor, she makes this whole exchange of bartering for a duck painting on the wall, a picture of birds off the wall of the restaurant. It says $70. I will give you 15. And that was it.
I don't understand like that scene at all. I'm like, why is this here? This movie is 2 hours long, and why am I watching this?
Because it needed to be a flimsy little situation where he had been staring at her while she's eating this whole time. That opening scene where they're eating, he's just looking at her and just eating her up visually. And then she goes and get this painting completely oblivious and says, this painting is in the car, is going to be a symbol of our friendship. No matter what happens, you will always know that this moment happened. We're memorialized because we're good friends, and I really like you, Holden. Thank you for being in my life. And this is on the drive home after like this long weekend, actually, where he didn't go to work. He let Banky handle everything, and he cut everything to hang out with Alyssa. She's just trying to say goodbye and like close this up a little bit because they did end up spending a really long connected time together, and just try to say, hey, I know we're not fucking, but here's a stupid painting, and I think this is what any white boy would want when they get older. A picture of the ocean with a lighthouse and some birds. And he's not
Every
about
white
it.
man has a similar piece of art in their home.
At least on the East Coast.
A lot of lighthouse out there.
And he's not about that. He's not going to let that happen. And so he stops the car. Thank goodness there's no traffic. And he makes all these excuses for telling her how he feels, and just kind of insinuates like, you know that this is more, and you know and what you're doing, and yada yada yada, and it would just be a small change for you, and I don't think I can go on living, and I'm willing to let go of this whole weekend that we spent together, this whole friendship, just to let you know that I am truly in love with you, and I think you are in love with me too.
I don't know how she didn't realize that's like he was falling in love with her. Like, how? Girl, it's very obvious.
I can admit I have very recently been there, and I was told similarly, like, how dare you, yada yada yada.
Somebody was in love with you and you didn't realize it, and you just thought they were friends.
I didn't trust him. It was different. We'd already been together. It's on the web now.
Lives forever on the internet.
Well, there it is. But like, yeah, and people gave me a lot of shit. Like, how could you be blind? Yada yada yada. I was like, okay. Before this conversation in the rain happened, I had already had previous conversations with the individual. Like, we broke up 3 times, bro.
Yeah,
bro, that's a lot of time.
I told you I was a lesbian. Like, it's the same situation.
Yeah, no, I get it. You're right. Like, she had established what she expected the boundaries of the relationship to be, and but like didn't understand that men are so constipated when it comes to intimacy that any intimacy then for Holden is going to feel like dating, predating romance, because
not enough.
What is anything that doesn't lead to sex, right?
I'm like, girl, don't trust a man's intentions. He trying to get that thing.
More than that, like, I think it's revealed that he wants the whole story. He doesn't want just her. He wants the whole story, to own her, not just her body, but her history and her life, and to be the only singular individual that has ever mattered to her.
Which right, that's a great segue to the big conflict. So after they're dating for a while, after she's had her conversation with friends, and he's had several conversations with his incredibly close friend Banky, my favorite of which, because it's so ridiculous and not like so dumb that it happened, but I know that people feel this way still, is we're at a 4-way stop with Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, man-loving lesbian who's pretty, and a ugly man-hating dyke. Which one of these things gets to go first?
Which one's gonna get the $100 bill in the middle?
Yeah, which one's gonna get the $100 bill in the middle? And Holden's like, I don't know, the man-hating dyke. What is this about? And Becky's like, the other three are figments of your imagination.
Figments of your imagination, yeah.
Yes.
Figments of your fucking imagination. And it's what I really liked about it is that Banky had already been accosted by a fan that he was a tracer and that he wasn't an actual artist. And then we see his artwork, and then we're like, yeah, you're a tracer.
Yeah.
You should trace.
You should stick to tracing, bro.
that women don't have arms.
It's just like a stocky lesbian, no arms, just
It's
like all t-shirt and jeans.
both of
Just
them.
like
They're just chest and a face and a
yeah,
hair. Yeah. And just
just like
yeah.
women are only simple objects,
Um,
and women
Banky,
are objects to
yeah.
these men.
I don't know if we've talked enough about Banky, and you mentioned a couple times, and I like your take on this because I don't know if I've ever really thought about it, and I don't even know, Alex, if this was what you were trying to say, but in a way, Holden is like running away from his responsibilities by
Mhm.
being with Alyssa. Like he
Yes.
leaves multiple meetings that him and Banky had set up, and literally skips town on their business trip to go be with Alyssa instead. And Banky, who then is like, just the tracer, is kind of like left in this rut of like, what can I do? Um, that I'm losing my person, right? And that's what it
Right.
just keeps coming back to is
Roommate, co-author and artist. They're
Their whole lives are intertwined with each other.
yeah.
Like,
It's
and
not
now it's
just their
like
identity, it's their income. It's their
mm-hmm.
it's
rent.
their livelihood.
Yeah.
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 Um, yeah, Banky is there at all of those moments that we've talked about too. The when Alyssa kisses another girl at the bar right in front of Holden, and Holden's all like, "What?" Banky like looks around and notices that all of the women are with each other, and then he like starts his own slow clap.
Like, you go, ladies. Look at you go.
I'm not going to stop staring. There's not going to be another chance where I don't have, or I can see this in person and not have to
Yeah.
pay for it. Like
Yeah.
he's such a dork.
Yes.
Like, there's a lot of conversation around like whether he's homophobic. And I'm like, I don't think he's like homophobic. I think he's really upset at the situation that he's like losing his best
Mm-hmm.
friend. And so that makes him like more hateful than he normally would be. And so the like thing he's gonna pick on is the fact that she's like a lesbian and a slut
Yeah, it's
to
Mm-hmm.
him. But I'm
yeah.
like, there might also be like some definite like internalized homophobia going on there. I think that man might want
Yeah.
a wiener in his mouth. He wants to try it out.
I think there's definitely some confusion at least.
Yeah.
Which is funny. And I don't know if it's because when we were watching it, like so many of these feelings felt so much more real and close, but like now being 39, and
Yay.
watching these characters that are like supposed to be like 28, 29, and being like, you guys are all emotionally underdeveloped. Like all three of you.
What's going on with the frontal lobes in this situation?
Like so but then it is Banky because of his jealousy who digs up dirt on Alyssa, and that's how we get to finger cuffs.
Yeah.
um
He played by Jason Lee.
Yeah.
Great. He did a great job in that.
mhm.
Period.
Yeah, so to finger cuffs is a stupid derogatory nickname that a boy or two boys that she went to high school with came up with for her, after they both performed sexual acts with her at the same time. And that's
In
really
high
all we
school,
need to in high school.
over 10 years ago, Holden.
Yeah. And yes, and learning this information is what sends Holden into a spiral about not being able to be with Alyssa. Not because of the swagger she's shown with women and picking up women from clubs and that kind of stuff. He was totally cool with that. But oh no, she slept with two dudes at one time.
Yeah.
And really just even had slept with a dude at all before because
He
she
wanted to be the only one.
right. Yes.
He was her story, and now he was not her story.
Mm-hmm.
Her story.
Mm-hmm.
Banky is, by the way, Banky is gay. It's not just assumed like the writer really wanted him to be gay. And like that was the dialogue in the 90s. If you are homophobic, you're gay. That was kind of like a defense, and I really appreciate Kevin Smith for like holding strong in the line with that dialogue, because Banky comes out later in another movie. He doesn't come out, but it turns out later on that he and Hooper X are dating. So
Oh,
I
nice.
love that for him.
Yeah, I do love that.
I mean, here's the thing. I stopped paying attention to Kevin Smith, not for any reason specifically, just kind of like fell off of my um interest
radar.
list, I guess.
Yeah.
After the first Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back movie, which was what, like 2001, I think.
I think 2001.
Stuff. And I know he's like moved away from Jay and Silent Bob and written some original stuff, but still likes to
They've
return to it pretty
I
often.
think they've made 2 Jay and Silent Bob movie, like, I
They
don't know
had
if they're
Clerks 2 recently.
reboots or
They're on
sequels or what,
Clerks
but
3.
They're on Clerks 3. They
yeah.
did do
Yes.
Clerks 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, my personal favorite was always Mallrats. So
Yes, I love Mallrats. Mallrats is really
I
funny.
really thought the stink palm was really good. I love the stink palm. And then he's eating the chocolate covered pretzels and he's just,
Yeah.
sir, that
Yeah.
is doo-doo butter. And that is very funny to me. That is very funny to me.
And Alyssa knows both of the girls who
Yeah, from
have had
Yeah.
traumatic events in the Mallrats and in Clerks. And that's just,
yeah.
and she implies right there that
So, and
she's
that's
known a lot of women.
well, and like, but how had he not heard of her before? If if they all knew like the same people, and he like they both knew the stories about those girls, how would he not have heard about some girl?
Because perhaps Holden had heard of finger cuffs and had automatically already crossed this person who is that sexually active off his list without even hearing anything more about that story. He's like, oh, somebody had sex with 2 people at once. I'm no longer interested in what else might be
Must be a
about.
disgusting human being.
He is presented as that Catholic boy. Benki and him both went to Catholic school, and it was 2 towns over. So like something that happened in high school might not have gotten around, but things that happened after high school, like the events of Clerks and Mallrats, yeah, because those were adults that died, or yeah, that was an adult woman who found a dead body in the bathroom.
Yeah, so he finds out about that and he confronts her about it during a hockey game, which is
yeah,
she's
so
watching
rude.
other men.
Juvenile.
She's watching other men, and he's like, she's getting super turned on by these hot men beating each other up.
I love that insight. I love that insight. That is it. He's being super juvenile. It was not the time or place. They could have done it before. They could have done it after. They could have done it when they set this date up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, in the middle of
because it's all that testosterone around her. He's getting real jealous.
Suddenly.
So yeah, he calls her out and basically makes her recant the whole story. And when she's being vague, he is like, no, like what happened? And so then she like shouts, and then I fucked them. And the best part about that is like the guy like 2 rows back is like, geez, even I knew what she was getting at.
Yeah. I told you these were good seats. And people are missing the hockey game because he's being such a dramatic, self-centered little butthole. And then it's another opportunity for her to just scream and yell and be crying and be super frustrated at him. And she does a great job holding the stage doing that. I wish we got more movies about that character. It doesn't have to be played by her because yeah.
And so then I guess he gets mopey for a little bit, and he's mopey because he's also not talking to Banky because he's mad at Banky for even bringing it up, and then he comes up with this idea and he brings them both over, and I think this is the most fascinating. Like I remember like when watching it, like being like, this guy is crazy. There's no way. It's like this can't be the answer. Like I remember like watching like even like however like 13, 14, however old I was
Yeah.
the first time I saw it, being like, this can't possibly be the thing that actually
Is
like
the
how this
solution.
movie ends. And so basically Holden has this monologue about like how he has unresolved feelings about how experienced she is and how Banky feels left out and has some sexual feelings about him. And he suggests like, so the thing is then we just have to all sleep together. And then like they're just quiet for several beats. They
What a
just
weird proposition. I couldn't imagine just being sat down by my best friend and being like, listen, so here's the thing. You and me and my girlfriend, we got to bang. Let's, like,
Just
what?
bang it out.
bang it out.
I also would be very silent and not know what to say.
I don't imagine I've had conversations about such things that have never occurred sober. Um, so like the fact that he is so somber and so sober
Sober.
Yeah.
is
It's very
fascinating.
serious. Like,
Yeah.
this is a serious task we got to do here,
And
guys.
so then
Because my life matters and I want to be happy again. I want things to go. Things can't go back to the way they were, but I need us all to be in the future together. So I'm willing to make this sacrifice. Girlfriend, get undressed. Best friend, we're going to do it. And I want this to be special. So shut up and love it, I guess. Like, what the fuck?
and then yeah, and Alyssa is just such a fucking pro. Like obviously, like she answers it like this is not the first time somebody's offered her a threesome and she's turned it down. Like she's like, no, because when this happens, like you could have feelings about Banky that you didn't know. Banky and I, gross, could have
Good.
feelings about each
God
other.
forbid. She says, God forbid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
or you're just gonna get jealous by the way I look at him,
or
or
like
the way I moan differently.
yeah, the way I make the sounds I make, whatever. Yeah. And she's
So
like,
real.
nope, sorry, bye.
You'll be an insecure little baby.
I would have forgotten about this film and that scene and her dialogue and her message, Kevin Smith's message, if you, Sarah, hadn't like brought this option up as a high school assignment. And I appreciate that and you so much for it because I was a much wiser when those situations came along because I didn't want that shit to happen. And it made so much sense. She didn't just make that dialogue make sense. She made it like, wow, that's a real stake. And yeah, there are some damn fools out there that will try to make that stuff happen.
I
And
feel like
I felt like she had lived it for me. I don't need to make this work like that. I like that.
We did skip over the Silent Bob monologue that led Holden to this revelation.
It's where we get Chasing Amy from.
Yes.
Well, it wasn't even his intention to make them all have sex together, right? Kevin's
no, the Silent Bob's monologue is like basically like I fucked up because
don't be like me.
This girl had more experience than I did, and Holden took from that like an idiot. Oh, then I need to get on her level.
Yeah.
And fuck my best friend.
To also have a threesome.
I need to sign up my girlfriend, who I'm not talking to right now, with my best friend, who I haven't been talking to right now. Yeah, so that my life will be better. I'm willing to make this sacrifice.
I am willing to fuck both of you to make my life better.
Me, so let's just get on with it, and I can be happy again. Like it's so self-centered, and like we've talked about, like some of the interactions are broadly adult, but what's going on in Holden's heart and his brain is so juvenile. And I love that the excuse is that he's a Catholic schoolboy.
I mean,
he's a Catholic school.
Can cause a lot of trauma. So,
Yeah.
he just stopped mentally maturing at some point when he was an altar boy.
And he brought up that joke. Those jokes were hilarious about like he just became an alcoholic and he keeps on waking up next to strange priests. And it's stuff like that why he's not allowed at the family's first communions anymore.
We can
Like
never invite the priest to the luncheon afterwards because I was trying to bang him.
Holden and Alyssa really do have genuine chemistry. They're both quick-witted Jersey kids, and they're hilarious together. And she didn't muck it up. He mucked it up by forcing her. We've talked about this, forcing her to make a decision between having him or not having him in her life. And it had to be under his conditions. Twice already, he made that fight. He made her come to the fucking brink of like, it's my way, or you're just gonna be a miserable, lonely, dickless slut. I don't know, like what he was thinking.
Dickless Slut. That's a good band name.
And then the third time she had it, like she's like you said, Sarah, like she broke it down like this is not what you want, and I'm not here anymore. I'm not gonna do that journey again. I can't be with you while you figure this shit out. Sorry about it. You two can fuck.
Talk about like how hilarious, like quick-witted she is, like, and I think a lot of people classify this as a rom-com. Do you think it's a rom-com? Because I feel like more of the comedy in the movie is not related to the two of them and their relationship. Like, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you could classify it as a rom-com if the comedy isn't between like the love interest most of the time. Like, I find Banky funnier most of the time than either of them.
I think it's probably of Kevin Smith's film the closest to a rom-com that he could do, but
He did Zach and Miri Make a Porno, and that was a very good rom-com.
Oh, okay, fair.
Clerks 2?
Everyone knows the classic rom-com.
Clerks 2.
He's the other Nora Ephron.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's almost like a dramedy because it's heavy and they cry and deal with emotions a lot. I also like that when Holden is walking away. Sorry, this is stupid. When Holden is walking away from Alyssa, when they're fighting in the rain, like the first time, he's walking away. You can see the cameraman's feet in the reflection of the glass in the building across the street. I was like,
love a good goof. Love a good goof.
I see you.
And absolutely, Kevin Smith and his editing team were like, who cares? And if they do, good on them.
Watching a VHS, they'll never have anything sharp enough.
Yeah. Now I can watch it in 4K. I can tell you what brand of shoes that guy is wearing.
Oh man. But yeah, no, I like it, and I think you're absolutely right that it's not a rom-com in any sense of the word. And if it is, it's like it's also not really a bromance. I saw that term being used to describe their intimacy, and it's not like I understand like Mallrats is a bromance in my mind.
For sure.
But yeah, I think they're too for whatever reason, they are too emotionally codependent.
They spend most of the movie mad at each other, not like being chummy. So no bromance.
Bickering, it's more of a coming of age story for me because Holden is literally the main character and he's at a crossroads. Do I fake it through this next step of my career because what I really want to do is books or something more serious like my first work, but this Blunt Man and Chronic has really taken off and now we're getting pressed for an animated series. Like that's the option that he's giving up, to pretend to have a Pleasantville relationship with a really amazing person, but he doesn't appreciate her for her work. He doesn't appreciate her for her friends.
I don't think he appreciates anyone in this movie.
Yeah.
He doesn't appreciate Banky because he's messing up all of their like brand deals and stuff. Like he's very
Yeah.
selfish.
And he's just an inker. Like he can't do this on his own. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I mean, like the Jay and Silent Bob inspired comic book, Blunt Man and Chronic does. I mean, like that goes on to be a huge part of the verse. That's the plot of
Mm-hmm.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is they realized that Banky had sold their identities.
Mhm.
Um, so like, I mean, ultimately Banky wins, I guess, in the argument, are we going to take this corporate or not? I think Banky is ultimately
Yeah.
winning that one because Holden just walks away, right? And then writes some comic book called Chasing Amy, who isn't the name of the, like, this is the
No.
most interesting thing. Like,
Should be chasing Alyssa.
it should be because, like, as interesting as Silent Bob's monologue was, and I understand for Kevin Smith that monologue was an anchoring point.
Mhm.
I don't think it would have been unless he was just like, oh crap, I can't use Alyssa's name. I'll just pull this other name that I just heard.
Like,
Like,
yeah, I'm like,
it doesn't like, and I know he's writing about Alyssa's story anyways. So
I think Kevin Smith is a fucking genius. I think he in this okay, so you're talking about the conversation with Jay and Silent Bob between Holden, not Banky. Banky isn't there. So that's important because Banky isn't aware of Jay and Silent Bob being really up on their legalese when it comes to people using their visual representation. And he's
yeah.
like kind of ticked, but he's like, whatever. That just sets up Holden to make the same fucking mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing he doesn't do is use her name.
Yeah.
yeah, because
And
the pictures of her in the comic book are 100% her. Be like, that is my likeness. Like,
Yeah,
that is
like
me.
what the fuck?
and we
Like
only
she's so chill about it when he
She's like,
just slides the comic book over. She's like, "Oh, what is
that's not one of
this?"
mine.
Yeah.
I think oh
Also, why
yeah,
would you not look up at
oh
the
yeah.
person who's sliding something in front of you? Like, why
Yeah.
does it take her
Because you
so
saw that
long?
tall ass, you saw that tall 6'7" man at the beginning
Like,
of the line, and she's been preparing herself like, okay, I've done this 100 times with 100 dikes. We'll get through this. Alyssa's just gritting her teeth, signing it, and I'll deal with it when it comes because
there
I'm a
was no one in
professional.
line for her. There was no one in line. He was
There
not waiting in
wasn't.
a
You're
line.
right. There wasn't anyone in line with her.
Like,
But I
all of
think
a
she's
sudden, this
done it
person just
before, bro.
appears and slides something in front of
And
your
then
face, and you don't
runs.
even
Just
look
straight
up.
up
Like,
full speed jets out of there. So, Chasing Amy, ultimately for the queer community, harmful, hurtful, what's your personal take?
I mean, it's got a lot of language that I think a lot of people might not be used to hearing, which is, I don't know. Some people are fine with the F slurs, some are not. Like, I'm
Yeah.
around a lot of people that say it, and it's not like, I don't know, that big of a deal. But for some people, it is. So I think for some people, they can see it as like very narrow minded, very like, I don't know, harmful to the community. I personally don't feel like that.
You're around a lot of people within the community who use the F slur, just to
Yes.
clarify. I don't
Yes.
want to.
Yes. No, yes.
Why would they have
Like,
a guest in the pod that hangs out with people and drop the F slur?
no, yes, in the queer community, in the LGBTQIA plus community.
Yeah.
Yeah, that use that word quite freely. So yeah, I think like I personally don't think it's harmful to the community, but I do see where people can see it as very like narrow-minded and like does come from like a straight
Mhm.
perspective of writing a
Yeah.
queer
Yes.
character. But I think overall, like it advanced a narrative that a lot of people weren't talking about at
Right.
that time. So
Well, and it's so dumb to be like, we kind of needed this straight man's voice to tell this story because, like, why would we? But at the same time, like, I do think it kind of like broke down some barriers. And like, I've had lots of conversations with guys about Alyssa and whether or not Alyssa is gay. There was a guy we knew in college whose take on this film was that Alyssa was not a lesbian and that she would have, after this scene, probably gone on to date other men that weren't maybe as gross as Ben Affleck. And I was like, I'm pretty sure they're all gross. I think that's how she's going to, because she thought he wasn't gross until he proved that ultimately he was.
Yeah.
So, and I think the reading is probably that, like you said, Julia, like she's probably pansexual, but ultimately she's had better experiences dating women, so she's probably going to lean into being more open to dating women again because, yeah, because it's 1997 and in the gay bar you had to pick a side, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely think there's a lot of like, it's literally like you're on this side of the fence or you're on that side of the fence. No in betweensies.
Mm-hmm.
About what do you think, Alex? Do you think hurtful or
I think it's
not?
helpful for men. I
Yes.
think Sarah, you bring up a really good point. Like it's not for women. um,
This script was not run by any women.
yeah.
I'll tell you that.
I think it's somewhat helpful for men to have these conversations about like why are you using the F word so much? And why are you so hung up on this? And hey, maybe you need to leave her alone because she's not that into you. Look what a monster you've become because you've literally made this all about yourself. It's really, I think it's a good movie for allies. How about that? It's a good movie for the male cis ally. Um, yeah.
It's a digestible movie for that market as well.
Digestible. Yeah. And I
Mm-hmm.
think I really appreciated Hooper X's story a lot. Just kind of like understanding that like you have to play to win, and by play that means you can't take this shit seriously.
Mm-hmm.
You, if you want to live, you're gonna have to play. You're gonna have to be yourself authentically with your friends in your circle, but beyond that, you're gonna have to. And it was the
Adapt.
90s. Yeah,
Yeah, do whatever you have to do to adapt for
you're
sure. I
gonna have to
definitely think,
adapt.
yeah, Hooper is probably the best character.
Cool.
Like
Really
just
cool.
like by far. I don't even know why I said I think.
I would love to see a movie of like him and Banky's life if they're a couple now.
Yeah.
Like,
How
what's that?
that's a
What's
rom-com.
what's that like?
How did
How
you
did you
get
guys?
Becky to
Yeah, how did?
unfold and
Yeah,
relax?
how did you? How did you become a couple? What's your
Yeah,
meet cute?
that's it. And yeah, Hooper was also a bartender at that lesbian bar.
Yeah, at the
That's
Meow
how they got the
Mix.
invites.
Mm-hmm.
And Alyssa only suggested that he bring them along. And honestly, who knows why? It doesn't matter. She wanted to have more friends and more comic arty things. Because I think that's what the paradigm for fucked up selfish dudes comes down to is why did she do any of this? It's all her fault. He was having a happy life. And I don't think people are able to read between the lines and see that he was scared to go on this business journey forward.
Mm-hmm.
And he needed something to stop him. He needed a crossroads and $100 in the middle, and he needed to decide who's going to get there first,
Which figment of his imagination was going to get that $100?
and realize there was no other people there after that $100. It was just him hating
Yeah.
men because that's Banky's world, but also like just he should stay single. I have no idea what happened to him. I should read or not read. I should watch the other movies and find out what happened to Holden.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
That's like, yeah, I mean, he's not dead. He's doing
not dead.
fine.
Yeah.
That's
I
where
just
my
straight up
interest.
don't care. Don't
Probably
care about
stop
this
writing.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think about much about what Holden's up to. Can't
Mickey and
say.
Hooper would be the better story.
Yeah.
And what do you think Alyssa's doing?
Making jam in upstate New York. Something very like Gilmore Girlsy.
Gilmore Girlsy. I
Very
think
quaint.
she tried to do the Hollywood thing, and she just brought all that experience back to the East Coast. And so she's like a consultant. She like works with Amy Poehler and like just does like a lot of behind the scenes writing work because she
Yeah.
never felt like
She was a writer on The Good Place.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
Alyssa did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would definitely be her vibe.
And
Yeah.
she's helping other lesbian like writers do their thing. Like she's with that Upstate Farm, she's holding little college internship
Yeah. She's
lesbian
having
writing circles.
little weekends like
Mhm.
getaways at her B&B for these like writing students.
Yeah.
So another fun anecdote that I literally just read this morning. Because of the success of his other two films, Miramax was willing to pay. Um, he had a budget of this film of a 250,000, which is super low budget, but they were going to pay him 2.5 million if they got Jon Stewart, Drew Barrymore, and David Schwimmer.
I'd read about that casting as well. I was like, oh,
Like Drew
I
Barrymore,
love
great.
Jon
Like I get
Stewart.
it, and I
Yeah.
think Jon Stewart could do all of the beats.
It
Um,
just would not be the same film.
As Holden,
Yeah.
because
he's
I mean
whiny
David
enough. He's
Schwimmer is
whiny
Banky.
enough. He's whiny enough to
And
David
David
Schwimmer.
Schwimmer as Banky.
Yeah.
That would have been wow,
Like,
what a different movie that would have
and
been.
I'm like, what? Like Jon Stewart was a big like I'm like, what was Jon Stewart doing to be worthy of
He
Miramax?
I mean, had Big Daddy come out
Right,
yet? He was
Big
in
yeah, it
Daddy
would
was
have
Big
been
1999.
Daddy.
it would have been right after
When
that.
did he start
Apple Tea
Daily
was
Show?
1998.
When
Half
did
Baked was 1998.
Half
Elmo
Baked was
Palooza
98?
1998.
When did the Daily Show start?
2005.
Really? It
But
was that late?
it was
What?
probably a bit. It was probably a bit
Like
before
he
that
was probably
though.
yeah, he was doing stuff. I mean, I feel like yeah, I mean, I feel like yeah, no, I'm glad that it's Ben Affleck. I think the
Yeah,
casting wound up
I think
being
the casting
great.
is yeah.
Um,
I wonder if Drew Barrymore would have been as she was a charming, cutesy, we're all in love with her situation, right? In the
Yeah.
90s.
yeah.
We just adore her. She could do no harm, she could do no bad. And I
The
think we needed that. We needed
this
Is
somebody.
this movie pre-Wedding Singer? Because Wedding Singer, she was
Jon
real
Stewart was also in
cutesy.
the First Wives Club in 1996. Let me look up Drew Barrymore. What was happening for her?
So I think Wedding Singer would have been around this time.
1998 would have been Ever After. 1998
oh
was The Wedding
yeah.
Singer.
She was
I
peak in
love
1998.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think she would have been too big for Chasing Amy.
Yeah,
Like,
like they would have
He
been
was in
trying to
Batman
go
Forever
for
in 1995 as a side character.
yeah, they would have been trying to go for like the ultra like
Mhm.
box office ticket with those three, I think.
Yeah.
Jon
yeah,
Stewart
which
is
is
kind of
weird.
the
Jon Stewart is definitely like the outlier there.
Everyone
David,
Says I Love You was
mhm.
1996.
mm,
Boys on the Side.
Mad
90,
Love was 1995.
Boys on the Side, where Whoopi Goldberg's character was in love with her. That would have been like 94, 93. So like she
Home
was like flirting with bisexual characters.
Home Fries was 1998. So yeah, she was just coming into her own again as like a
as an adult,
hot female lead. Yeah.
not all jacked up.
Also on the same since we're talking about Drew Barrymore, I saw on the wonderful world of TikTok somebody making a TikTok that's like, at 50 years old, Drew Barrymore comes out of the closet. And I'm like,
As what?
no, she's always been open. She's said multiple times that she would date any gender. Maybe she finally said the word bisexual and somebody's freaking out, but she has multiple
Maybe.
times been like, whatever, if it happens, it happens.
Yeah. I feel like that was very that's a very similar thing to like Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco. People were like, he officially came out. And I'm like, didn't we all know? I thought that this was all everybody already knew this.
Do I like women sexually? Yeah, I do. Totally. I have always considered myself bisexual, she said in 2003 to contactmusic.com. I
Yeah.
love a
2003.
woman's body. I think a woman and a woman and a woman together are beautiful, just as a man and a woman together are beautiful. Being with a woman is just like exploring your own body, but through someone else.
Well, okay.
I love that she had to like say
Wow.
it so like factually for this fucking interviewer to be like, oh, that's what it is. Okay, I get it now. Like, what?
Would these conversations happen today? Could these? I think that's the real test. If he changed anything, if Kevin Smith changed anything, would this situation happen again today between a modern day Holden, Banky, and Alyssa?
I think
I
there
remember.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think so?
I think there are a lot more words, and I think that, but I think male sexuality, I don't want to say like it's evolved, but I do think I know a few young men, not 28, that see sex as just sex and separate from sexuality, if that makes any sense. And
Yeah.
I'm sure like there are people that were like, on the down low and blah 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 always, but I think that you could have this moment where there is sexual tension and animosity between a friend and um between two friends and one of the friends' girlfriend that as a result of unresolved sexual tension. I think that part is true to life, probably always, right? The words exactly though, I don't know, because like I said, like language is more fluid. The way we think about sexuality is a little more fluid, but the tension always gonna.
Yeah, I think the situation would still exist, but the way the language used to talk about it or describe it would change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I think Kevin Smith is responsible for that? No, not really.
That's fair. That's fair.
Do I think Kevin Smith, if he's responsible for anything, he's probably responsible for some 40-year-old dude being less rude to their son when he's dealing with, sexual stuff and not being like, you just need to bang chicks. Like, if that's, if there is any legacy, I think it's probably that
dad just comes out with this wisdom, like, and just starts quoting Silent Bob.
Yeah,
it's like sometimes you're gonna get freaked out because the girl's more experienced than you.
Amy. They did the thing. They did the thing where they said the title. They said the name in the movie. They did the thing. Yeah, and that
I have played the pronoun game when I was working in a very Christian service sort of job. Has anyone else felt like they've or witnessed someone playing the pronoun game, and how did you handle that?
You mean like to conceal the
gender
identity
of
I met someone. They're great.
I don't think I have. I don't know if that's because I hang out with very out and open people.
If you did, because you're at a gay bar, if there was a gay man who suddenly was using the pronoun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never had one of my gay male friends just all of a sudden start dating women and be like, I met someone. And I'd be like, okay, what's his name? Like, I've never had that where anyone's told me they're like dating a gender
fluid now. So like,
also, the use of they is not necessarily
Yeah.
indicative of anything. Yeah. So
I have literally called a male partner Amy to pass. And it worked. Wow. For like a little bit.
If you seek Amy.
Hey,
Britney Spears.
Nice.
No.
Bartender, one more. I think that's all I had when it comes to that. Aesthetics. Oh, that's the last thing. If did anybody see any, because it's a 90s film, a grungy city 90s film. Did anybody see any looks that they wish they could pull off or like see come back again? Alyssa was in that fishnet for an hour and just hasn't stopped dancing.
No, I mean, I still dress like Banky. I mean,
yeah.
Just like t-shirt and a flannel. It's timeless.
Yeah.
Timeless.
I'm guilty.
Especially in Iowa. I think that, or Nebraska, as
Midwest.
And especially in the Midwest, you're going to see people still wearing flannel.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. It's great. How
Yeah,
else
it's
do you get through
PSL
fall?
time. I need PSL, a bonfire, and my little red flannel, and a
I
Holster hoodie.
I hate a PSL. Justice for apple drinks. Okay. You
Yes.
cannot tell me that anything pumpkin loaf is better than an apple cider donut. It's just not good.
Apple
Mm.
cider donut. I don't like apple cider donut, but I will every day choose apple fritter,
Mm.
apple pie, apple streusel
Apple
over
crisp.
apple crisp over pumpkin. Pumpkin's
Oh yeah,
great, and I will do the
pumpkin's
pumpkin
garbage.
spices, not the actual
I
pumpkin.
don't need
So,
gourd flavored things.
Or
right.
flavor.
I'm
Isn't
good.
that like, yeah, pumpkin spice isn't even pumpkin, right? Like
Most
it's
of the time, it like we'll just have the spices that go into like a pumpkin pie, which is like all the
mm,
warm stuff, like cinnamon and
Nutmeg.
nutmeg, and I'm like and like clove.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, it's I can't get behind the movement.
I love
I'm
those
not that kind of
spices,
white girl.
but I will stop at cinnamon. Cinnamon is enough for me. Cinnamon. I love that. Yeah, I'll stop there because that's all I
Cinnamon.
really.
I do like cinnamon things, but apple cinnamon is superior. So that
Yes.
yeah, we brought it back. Yep.
Yeah. Apple is a far superior, better fall treat.
Julia, this was a lot of fun. Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
Thank you so much for having me. I
yeah,
was very
absolutely.
looking forward to this. So it's great.
All right, Gay2k fam, because I don't know what we're calling our fan base yet.
Hi, buddies.
Buddies.
We will catch you next time. Bye now.